Hi everyone. Today's activity is not my idea. It's actually one that came from one of my fourth grade artists at the Gibbon School. A couple of weeks ago, she shared a photo that she made at her home of a fairy house. And it was so cute. And I was like, oh, I think that's an awesome idea. I want to share it with my classes? And she said, sure. So thank you. I'm not naming names, but you know who you are. So thank you for that great activity, especially with the nice weather coming. It's a perfect time to create a fairy house. So just take a walk around your neighborhood. If you have a backyard that has like woods and things like that, or your front yard, gather up some natural materials that you can use to build your fairy house. I know that some people use craft items, so if you have some things at your home that you want to build your fairy house with, go for it. If you want to use a glue gun or tape or things like that, I'm just going to be using just natural materials and some yarn. So let's go in my backyard and let's build our fairy house. Bosley, you want to build a fairy house? You ready to build a fairy house? Let's go. Let's go build a fairy house. Okay. I can tell he's going to follow me anyway, even though he's not that excited. He's not really into fairies, but we'll see how he does. All right, let's go. So this is where I'm going to build the fairy house. It's at a base of the tree, but it's kind of up here. I was originally going to do it down here in this area, but then I looked up and look at this, like a little ledge, like a little shelf area, which I think is kind of cool. And then another shelf up here that I could put something, you know, fairy could hang out there. I don't know. I just love this area. It's all covered with moss. I think the fairies are going to love it. So when we went for a walk, we gathered up a bunch of natural stuff that was just on the ground, pieces of bark. That's great. Some sticks, all this stuff. If you have, if you collect rocks or things like that or shells, bring that stuff out. I have these shells. This is from the beach. This is from down the Cape. Some oyster shells and some sticks. And I also have some yarn. I wish I had string. String would probably look better because it's natural, but you know, the black yarn, it'll do. Just in case I want to like tie some things together. So if I do that, I will show you. All right, so this is what I have. I stuck 4 twigs. Well, actually, are they twigs? No, little sticks. They need to be a little sturdier than a twig. In the base, and then I put some yarn around it. I made it into a square, almost like a wrestling ring, and then I realized that I needed to put a piece of yarn going across. And now I'm going to put the roof on with bits of this bark. I was going to do leaves, but I think this would look a little bit better, and I really like the texture of this. And it is a lesson in balance as well, so that's kind of a cool thing to try to do. So this is what I have so far, and I want to protect the fairies, so I want to put some privacy walls up. So I will show you what I do next. So this is what I have right now. I took this pine branch and I just bent it at the end, and I'm just gonna thread it through and rest it in there. I kind of want it to blend in with the environment, and I don't want to use hot glue. I know some people, when they make fairy houses, they use like hot glue and tape, and I just want it to be all natural. If you want to use like craft items and stuff like that, you can, you know, like ribbon or beads and things like that, feel free. Mine's going to be kind of natural with my shells and sticks, things from nature. So I'm going to continue with this, but she is looking good. Hi everyone, my fairy house is complete and I'm ready to share it with you. Bosley is guarding it because he's afraid that someone is going to destroy my fairy house. So let's go check. Hey Bosley, are you guarding the fairy house? Now Bosley is part livestock guardian breed called a Great Pyrenees. His mom was a Great Pyrenees mix, so he's kind of bred to guard things like this. Right, Bosley? Good boy. Here is my fairy house, complete. Yes, he keeps... Oh! Bosley was trying to play with the fairy house. I told him after I finished the video. So here's the entrance. There's a little stick walkway, and I had some stones encircling the area where the fairy sits. I can't believe I actually had this plastic fairy at my house. I don't throw anything away. And all of her dogs. She is a crazy fairy lady, like a crazy dog lady. She has all of her doggy friends hanging out with her. And inside, she's just sitting on a little plastic leaf. And I don't know if you can see, yep, that little shelf, there's a little guy in there hanging out too. So there's my little fairy house. I hope you give it a try. And Bosley, was that fun? Do you want to play with the fairies now? Do you want to play with the fairy house? I hope you give it a try, and if you do, post it in Google Classroom. I would love to see what you make.